The 5th Ranger at the beginning. The 5th Ranger Infantry Battalion was activated on September 1st, 1943 at Camp Forest in Tennessee. Within the first 3 days, 34 officers and 563 enlisted men joined the battalion. Major Howard H. Carter served as the battalion commander with Captain Richard P. Sullivan as the executive officer. After 4 months of intense training in the United States, the battalion departed from the port of New York on January 8, 1944, aboard the HMS Mauritania. They arrived in Liverpool, England on January 18th. Upon arrival in Leominster, England, the battalion resumed its training. However, the soldiers also found some free time, resulting in increased business for local pubs. Hey, the guys! The 5th Ranger were not involved in the infamous midnight raid on the Quartermaster Truck Company encampment outside the town. 2 months later, the battalion moved to Scotland for rigorous commando training. Afterward, they proceeded to the Assault of Training Center, where Major Schneider assumed the commander of the battalion. The next phase took them to Swanage for cliff training. They trained currently in late April with participation in the Fabius II landing exercise. On June 1st, the battalion moved to Portland Harbor and boarded invasion ships, including the HMS Prince Leopold, which carried battalion headquarters as well as Company C and D and F. At this stage, the map aerial photograph and the same table has been used in planning now for familiar names: Vierville-sur-Mer, Pointe-de-Hoc, Grand-Camp-les-Bains, Maisy. At H hour, 6:30 a.m., the battalion circled offshore, waiting for a signal from the 2nd Ranger Battalion at Pointe-de-Hoc. The question remains whether the 2nd Ranger had succeeded in their assault on the cliff of Pointe-de-Hoc. With no words, the battalion continued to wait. At 7:10, past deadline, at 7, Colonel Schneider ordered the 3-wave of 18 Rangers boat under his command to divert on Omaha Beach, landing at Vierville-sur-Mer, Charlie sector. As the first wave, led by Colonel Schneider, Company A and B of the 2nd Ranger, landed at Vierville as well, they came under devastating German machine gun fire, mortar, and artillery fire. Colonel Schneider then diverted his remaining forces, the entire 5th Ranger, to the east. After advancing about a mile in 10 minutes, the 5th Infantry Battalion landed intact astride the boundary between Omaha Dog White and Red Beach. Colonel Schneider ordered the battalion to move to Raleigh Point by platoon infiltration. The Ranger blew 4 gaps in the war, trapping American forces on the beach, and pushed through them, storming the smoke short bluff and surprising the German defenders. The 29th Division subsequently ordered the 1st Battalion to help establish the beachhead rather than relieve the 2nd Ranger at Pointe-de-Hoc. By late afternoon, the 5th Ranger had occupied Vierville, securing the right flank of the beachhead about a mile deep. The plan to advance to Pointe-de-Hoc was cancelled, and the 5th Ranger remains in Vierville overnight, defending the right flank of the beachhead. On D-Day +1, most of the battalion stayed in and around Vierville, eliminating remaining German resistance and defending the beachhead from counterattack. Company C and D joined an infantry and tank task for moving towards Grand-Camp-les-Bains. The task force advanced behind Pointe-de-Hoc until heavy artillery and anti-tank defense forced it back to Saint-Pierre-du-Mont. When tanks were recalled to Vierville for the night, the task force dug in Saint-Pierre and sent out patrols that made contact with the forces at Pointe-de-Hoc. On D2, the 2nd Ranger at Pointe-de-Hoc were relieved in an early morning attack by the Rangers at Saint-Pierre-du-Mont. The battalion suffered 23 killed in action 89 wounded in action and 2 missing in action during the invasion operation. The total casualties numbered 114, representing 20% of the battalion.